So happy Saturday. We are back working on our holiday journal, our Advent journal, our travel journal. You can call it whatever you want. I know we all celebrate different things. We all have different cultural backgrounds, religious beliefs. So it's not about a specific, I mean, this type of book can be used for a lot of different things. It's not that it's just used for, let's say, Advent. It's just what I happen to call this one because I wanted to create a journal that allowed me to put a lot of stuff in it and still be fun and easy to create the journal. And I do celebrate Christmas, and so I called mine an Advent. But it doesn't have, you can call it whatever you want. The important thing, and I say that because I know it's a few comments about, well, I'm this religion or that religion, and I understand it. And that's why I called it holiday, because you can use it for anything this time of year. You can definitely use it as a travel journal. It's really, really good for a travel journal because you have a lot of pockets. You have hard covers, which are nice. Using the binder rings, it gives you a lot of expansion in this little book, and it's just so easy to make. And books like this are easy to make even when you're traveling. Like you're traveling, let's say you didn't have a journal, or you just want to have the fun of making a journal. You can just get all kinds of papers and that you have when you're traveling. Sometimes I even take like magazines from different countries and catalogs and stuff and pull out pages that I like, and I turn those into the pages of my journal and make pockets and stuff so I can stick business cards in and, you know, places that I've been and all that kind of stuff. So it has a lot of functionality, this little book. So what I was doing is, these are the covers. I'm using this book. So basically I just tore this one cover off so far, and we're going to be doing the inside and outside of the cover, but we'll be doing that next week. This week we're going to work on getting all of our pages together, and we're going to work on the pockets. So let's get started, and it's good being here with you guys as always. And yeah, I don't think I have any other housekeeping. We can just jump right into the video. What I did is I sized the papers so that they're flush on the edge here. And you can have a little bit of edge over here, you know, and I'm going to have some of my pages hanging out as well because I kind of want that look. So what I did is got most of these pages done. I'll show you how I did them. I didn't want to spend, you know, a lot of time just tearing all these pages down because that took like about a half an hour to do that. So this is one of our full sheets that is now both glazed on both sides, right? And folded in half. It looks pretty much like this. In order to get it to work with my journal, you see I had to size it down a little bit. So once I figured that out, which is just basically kind of, you know, using this as a guide and just kind of working out what your pages are, I kind of eyeball it versus using a ruler. Once I got one of them figured out, then I just use that as a template. Now I wanted this sort of really deckled edge on my pages. It's sort of really, you know, that real irregular edge, because I wanted to kind of have that old world vibe. I actually have one of the deckled rulers. This one is by Westcott, and it's got two. It's got a very deep decal, and then it has a very shallow one. I'm using the shallow one. And basically, I'm just kind of laying it down, using this one as a template. And if you don't have one of these, you can just make yours straight. You can also use these pinking shears, and you literally can, let me see what I have here. You literally can just take and cut with some pinking shears like this. And then what I do, kind of do the same way I do my stamps. Then I go back over it and just cut into each one of those notches, and what it does is it, you know, it makes it irregular so you don't get all those little peaks. Just kind of, you know, roughly kind of chop it up all the way up. And you get a similar edge by doing that. See, so you get this kind of similar edge to the ruler. So you don't have to get a ruler. Most people have pinking shears, and if you don't, these are pretty easy to get a few dollars at Joann's or one of the sewing stores. Walmart, I think, even has them. Okay. So let's get this other edge. So I'm literally just taking and lining it up, and I'm not trying to make it super even either, because I want the pages to be a little irregular from one to the other. And it really makes the pages nice and sturdy that we have that extra acrylic on there, even though we're just using, you know, I'm just using 28-pound copier paper. Well, I'm using the Hammer Mill premium color copy, but basically it's a copier weight paper. So that's how we got these. And then once I did that, I was figuring out the order. And I think I'm going to do like a script page and a marble. In my mind, I always had this idea that I was going to kind of stagger them. Something like that. So something like this looks good. That kind of arrangement. So that gives me basically my 10 pages. Now, it may not seem like a lot. You could add more to yours, but I'm going to tell you, it's amazing how by the time you start putting the pockets on and then getting your stuff in it, this journal will be double this size easily once it's filled. So don't feel like you have to have a lot of pages, actually. 10 gives us 40 front and back. So that's a lot of pages to fill up when you start really working with a journal. Okay, now we're going to work on the pockets. So these are my pocket pages. Basically, I've already started tearing them down, and I'll show you, that's going to be pockets as well. I'll show you how I did this. So I just took some extra pages again, you know, like make duplicate copies. And I just selected a few, and I stained them. Or not stained them, I'm sorry, I glazed them. So these are glazed like the others. And basically what I did is I took a full sheet, folded it in half, the long way like this. And then using my decal, I just came in a little bit and basically ripped that strip off. And that gives me my two pieces. So from there, what we're going to do, these pieces, here's one already basically done. So I will end up making the edges deckled as well. I've taken the top and folded it down just to give it like a little ledge, so when you go to put it in, you know, you're not dealing with sort of ripping your paper. Because you don't really necessarily want to back this with anything too heavy or too thick, because that's just going to get in the way of the fold. So let's say this is where I want my first one to be. So inside, I can put this like that. So these are going to go the long way as we glue them in place, and that's going to form a pocket there. So you can do as many of these. You can do them on every page. Let's figure out right now before I go any further. I'm going to figure out which ones are going to get my pockets so that we're able to glue them in place. Okay? Let's fold this in half. I think I like this on the outside of this one. I think that's kind of cool. And this one, let's see. Maybe this will go, since that's on the outside, I think I'll put this one on the inside. Yeah. So just take your papers and sort of figure out. Now, some of these that I'm using are not from the pack. These are just some of the extras that I had and I was sort of figuring out. And some of these have gone in my printables in Patreon. So if you're seeing some that are not in your pack, it's just some extras. But you certainly can use all of your pages here and sort of just mix and match them. You know, a number of them are the same, but just some of them are different. So if you're wondering. Oh, I like that inside. And you could also take some of the pages with text on them. You can fold those down for pockets as well. We also have some pages in our kit that are pockets, and so I think I'm going to use some of those on the outside as well. But let's just sort of figure out this piece. That's nice there. Just put that there. Just kind of going through and figuring this out first. Where was the last one like that? That's back there. Okay. I think I'll put this on the outside, actually, of this one. That's nice. And this one, use that one. So you'll see how I glue these in as a full section, and it just gives us our pockets. Okay, so we'll put this on the outside. And then this one will go on the outside too. I like that. Okay, so this kind of gets us started. Now you can do these both inside and outside. You can put, you'll see what I'm saying. You know, like I just have kind of staggered them. But you can have every page literally inside and outside. Now you see just putting that in how much thicker it's already become as well. So this is really going to thicken up. So what we're going to do is, let me see, using a waste paper. I'll use this as a waste paper. I think I'm going to use my glitter glue. And, oh no, I'll use the glue stick. It'll be just as easy. So that piece that we folded down, just go ahead and use some glue on it. And then fold that back. That way you don't have to worry about anything that we put in the pocket, you know, catching on the lid here. So it's going to be inside like that. So that's going to go in here. I think what I'll do is I'll glue them as we go. That way they can start drying. So for this, I will use the glitter glue because this makes a nice thin bead. And so I'm going to take and put a bead right down there like that. So lining that fold up, put it down like that. And I have sort of the deckled edge lined up at the bottom. So I have this ripped edge here, and it kind of mimics the ripped edge at the bottom, and I really like that. So really you only have to put the glue just in that one spot because we just want it so it doesn't slide across. but that'll hold it all. So then just put a bead this way and one across the bottom. That takes care of that. And I like the fact that we've got this irregularity. If you don't like that, you can clean it up. But I like seeing the text paper underneath it, and it just, to me, it just gives it that old world kind of fun, you know. But if you don't like that, you can actually make things. You can just rip your pages so that they're a little, you know. Just use a straight edge, and you can rip them so they're a little more straight. Let's get this. Okay. But I'm going after this sort of really old world piece. So that gives us a pocket there and a pocket there. Nice size pockets too. And then on the outside where we're going to see a little bit of overage, I'm not going to worry about that right now, because I probably, once this is completely dry, either we can take our scissors and just, you know, just kind of cut it a little bit more like that. I'm also going to take, where are they? These. And I also just take my edges and I just kind of rough them up so that you get rid of, you know, you just soften them so you get rid of some of those points. And that really just takes care of them nicely as well. And then we can also use a little bit of the distressed on those edges when we're completely done. But we're going to do that last. So we'll just get all of these lined up. So move this stuff out of the way so I have some room here to work. So let's do the same thing. We're going to take and just fold it, you know, just folding it down a little bit. If you have a scoreboard, like I have a scoreboard here, if you have a scoreboard or a straight edge or whatever, that'll work. Just, let me see, where do I want to? Just go gently. You don't want to put a lot of pressure so that it goes through the page. So I think I'll do all of them. Get that out the way. So go through and get these done. I'm so glad you guys love these packs. So many, not only so many of you have purchased them, but just so many positive comments about them. So thank you. I really enjoy them and really wanted to, I had a lot of fun putting them together. And I definitely love working with these. And you can just work with these all year long in all of your various projects. It's nothing like marble papers. I love them. So just good to get all these done so I can fold them down. I think I missed that one, didn't I? It's okay. So I can put the other pockets on that. Okay. These scoreboards are the best. But if you don't have the scoreboard, you can just I think I have this on the outside. Yeah. You can just use your straight edge and your you know, board, your cutting mat, and just line it up and do the same thing. Put a ruler down and then just score next to it. I actually got that one at Tuesday mornings. We have I don't know if you guys have Tuesday mornings in other parts of the country, but or in other And also in other countries, you know, like it's like your, you know, it's like those discount stores where all of the odd job lots and stuff go. That's what it's like. But they have a craft section in there where you can actually get a lot of good stuff for the money. But they had the scoreboards one time and I was in there. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it for that. See, these just look so nice when you fold that down like that. So now what I do is I start working back the other way. I have a tendency when I'm doing these kind of tasks, I have a tendency to do production style. So I do all of something all the way through, and then I do the next thing. I find that it's actually takes less time when you do it like that. You know, you just have better control over your project and the time that it's taking. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. This one I didn't have anything. This one, same thing. Just use your glue stick. All right. Okay. I just think all these papers look so pretty together. They just look so like authentic, which is what I like. I just love that old world look of them, and then mixing and matching the marble papers is just super good. We're done. This is really going to have that old world look. It's already starting to look that way, but by the time we get our covers done, just getting these pockets and everything, these pages done like this, the next step is just to do our cover boards, like I said, which we'll do next week. And then it's just continuing to embellish, you know, working on whatever tags and stuff you want to put in them to use as writing spots. It goes there. This was inside like that. That looks good together too. Those patterns are like that. Okay, almost done here. Okay. And I think I had this inside. And this one, which I was going to put outside. Yeah. Okay. So now that that's done, okay. So now what we want to do is, I actually ordered, when I ordered more of this glitter glue, I know I ordered a set of extra steel pins, needles to put in there. And I think I forgot that I ordered them, because you know, Amazon They can send the littlest thing in the biggest box. I do not get them. My goodness gracious. And so I think when they did that, I forgot, you know how you can order stuff and then you forget all the specifics of what you ordered until you're going through your boxes and stuff. And I think what happened is that I threw it away. Because it probably was like the teeniest, tiniest little plastic bag or something. So I need to now order them again. So now what I did is I'm laying it down next to the edge of my page here. And so that, you know, when I go to glue it on, we have a similar edge here. And like I said, I want it sort of a little rough, but you need to get rid of a little bit more. You can. And then using your scissors, you can always just kind of rough it up a little bit if you need to rough it up some more. So let's go ahead now and glue this down. So we're going to do the same thing again. We'll put a bead of glue right here, basically kind of right in the seam. It'll be slightly to the right or the left of the seam. And put that down. And then across the bottom and down the sides. And I always like to use a tissue because that does help with any of the glue that comes off of it. Try to move some of this stuff out the way. Kind of like, let me see, let's put this here. I need to kind of get a little more organized over here. I've got like a sea of stuff. Okay, it's better. It's off camera. You guys can't see it, but it sure is in my way. Okay. Alrighty, so same thing here. And I'm using a 28 pound, so it's not, this is not super thick, but it's not the thinnest paper either. So it gives a little bit of sturdiness to this pocket, but it's not like, I mean, it still will be sturdy enough for our books and for what we're doing in them. And by making that edge here, it really does give you a little bit more sturdiness going in and out of that pocket. So that's looking good. And like I said, any overages like we have here, we can do the same thing. Just a little bit, or you can cut it shorter or whatever you want to do. Okay. So that's one. This is our second one. You see how they're coming together nicely? Okay, on to this one. Kind of move these out the way, so okay. So this is going to go on the inside. So same thing. Let's just go ahead and rip it. Okay. And likewise, we'll just kind of get this in the crease. Okay. Right. Alrighty. That's good. Just check inside to make sure you don't have too much of an overage, so your pocket will open up without being, you know. But I'm putting a really fine bead, so shouldn't be too bad. And then same thing, we'll just repeat it all the way through. Okay. I love mixing the marble paper with the text. Just like the way these, I mean, well, obviously, I think because, you know, that's how the old books look like. You got the marble papers in the text. But mixing them inside the pages like this, I just think it's a good look. It's a good look. Okay. Our pockets. So right there. Okay. So it really is making our papers a lot thicker and sturdier. I noticed, I'm sure that now that you've glazed your papers front and back, you notice how they're just so much more, they almost feel like they're waxed or something, right? They just feel so much stronger and sturdier, and like you can do more to them and they're not going to be harmed. So that's the nice thing also about glazing them. Go on to the next here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, I think I had that inside, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, that looks so good together. I love this combination. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Keep on knocking this over. Okay. Not too much. Sometimes a little bit more comes out, but I'll just take that. If there's any beads, just take your fingers and smooth it out so you don't get, you know, too much of a lump going on there. Okay. Love it. Oh, I don't know why my phone, I thought I had my phone set not to go off, but of course. Okay, sorry about that. Generally my phone is on silent, but recently did a, you know how you do the updates, and when it did the updates, the screens and everything have changed. So I think you know, I'm not pushing the right button like I think I am. So it happened to me earlier and I was like, I thought I had turned that off. So this is really nice. And just remember, like, I took a lot of my marble papers, but remember, you can take these papers and use them to make pockets as well. I will be using, in our set, we have these that I had kind of set up as pockets. So these will also be pockets, and I probably will put them on different places on these pages as well. But I want to show you how to get these pockets here done, just going ones that go across the entire page. Like I said, you can do this inside and out, so you don't have to just do it on one side. And if you want to do it in maybe a little bit more in the middle of the page and do a double pocket, you can do that too. So, you know, you can get as creative as you want with how you want to do these pockets. You guys know how to do those kind of things. So I find that this journal already gets kind of thick, so I don't have a tendency to make it too thick on the pages, but you know, we can. Like, we could put another layer here. We could actually do a double pocket, take this and then do another one and put it over top of this. We can also use these here and make double pockets with them, so we can stack them, and we'll probably do some of that too. Yeah, there's a lot. The way I designed the kit, it just allows you to already have a lot of stuff ready to go in terms of sizes and shapes. And it also, the most important thing too, is it sizes some of these same prints down, so they're not the same size. You know, so you get a smaller pattern that you can put on top of a larger pattern. Like, for instance, If I wanted to do this, I could literally do this pattern on top of that pattern. It's the same pattern, it's just more, you know, it's just it's smaller, so it's more condensed. And this is larger, so, you know, you can kind of stagger your sizes one on top of the other as well. Okay. It's looking good. So we will get these pages done, and then, like I said, next week we'll work on our it was on the outside. Yeah. So we'll do it like this. We'll work on our covers. I'm sorry to repeat myself like that, you know. Thinking about everything. So right here on the outside, I'll just go across too. So next week will be, so make sure you have your book board for next week. We'll have that, and then we will do our inserts, and I'll have a few more things already done, like some of the pockets done, and then I can show you a lot of different additional ways of doing some of it. So you see this one's a little short. I like that because I like the contrast of the seeing this paper underneath. So, you know, do a lot of different ways. So I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I cut them a little longer. Sometimes I just put them a little shorter, just for variation. So they all don't look cookie cutter, like every page is the same. So these pockets are good on the outside there. Love it. Love this. I love both of these pages. This came out of an old ledger book. They came out the same ledger book. I think this is Dutch. Okay, so here inside, okay. So I'll go ahead and run a bead there. One this way, one up, and then close it. Okay. All right. Love it. Love this paper too. This stone pattern is just so pretty, and the color is, this turquoisey color is just gorgeous. This one I think I already kind of had it pre-cut there a little bit. Okay, so this is our music page. Okay, so that'll go over like that. And I love seeing the music page underneath this one too. You know, just sort of seeing that with the marbled paper is really cool. You can see I love the papers. I don't need to put that there. We just need to, on the second side, we don't need to reinforce that middle because it's enough there. Just kind of doing it so it doesn't slide over. And actually the ones that wrap around, you really don't have to do that center, because when it wraps around, by nature of that, it's holding it there, but I still do it. Just gives that little extra reinforcement. I just love this old page is handwritten, like all of the lettering and the scale and everything. It's hand inked. And this is our last one. Okay. This one on the outside also. Okay. And of course, all these little pieces I'm saving for my stamps, my DIY stamps, and all that kind of stuff, collaging. I am going to do a collage board with this at some point too. I think it'll make a really cool collage board. These marble papers, like we did with the Asian ephemera, so you guys can have fun making your master boards. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. There we are. Let's see where we are with all of this now. Our pockets all done. Okay. And those pockets just really chunk everything up so nicely. All of a sudden you just have more. And now remember, we are going to put 3 holes through there. So the holes will go through the pockets, but our pages are wide enough so it'll just be right in here because we're going to do them right on the margin here. That's okay because we still have plenty of room to put things in our pockets. So they won't get in the way of anything. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you another thing that we can do before we still have a little more time before we come up on an hour. So let's take these. I'm going to show you. I normally just take some old book pages like this, and I'm going to just go ahead and rip this down a bit. And just going to go ahead and take this one off. Let's go ahead and glue this up. So we're going to use this page as a backing. So for this pocket, since it's not going to be double and wrapped around, I just use a book page to make the page stronger. So you can do this too if your paper is thinner. You can back it with some old book page. Okay. Let's go ahead and just put it down anywhere. Doesn't matter. Okay. So that's one. We'll set that one up and I'll do another one over here. Where is... If I have a folder of all these book pages that I end up saving. So, just go in here and grab something. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. So these are, I'm going to use as pockets throughout this book as well. Because, you know, we have sides that we didn't put the pockets on. So the wraparound style pockets, so we'll put these on. Okay. Okay. Just kind of putting it around this in the middle because I want to be able to tear around all the edges really good. And then the last one, we'll do these. Alrighty. And these are the pages that have some of the marbled papers on it that we don't have elsewhere in the pack. So it gives you some different papers to mix in that won't be like your large ones. And I did that on purpose too, just to be able so you could mix up your pockets and the elements in the journal. Alrighty. Okay, so let me see. Let me show you. Just take one of these too. I'll just do one of these as a pocket too so you can see how I'm going to use these. And then that way, during the week, you guys are free to kind of keep on building everything. So let me get another page. And I love the back side of these too. When I'm using these as full sheets, I just love that, the way they fade on the opposite side from all of the ink and coffee staining and stuff. Okay, put that down. That. I think I had one. Didn't I have one in here? I had a brown. Oh, here it is. Let's do this one because that's different. We don't have that anywhere except for a pocket, so that's a fun one to do. Okay. Alrighty. Goes down. Alrighty. So we'll close this up. So we're not, I can forget about my glues, which is not a good thing. So I'll put these to the side since these are the last ones that I did. And didn't I do? No, I only did one of those. Okay. So starting with this one, I think that was the first one I did. So then what I do is I take my straight edge and I'll just line it up. I just really want to rip all of them. I like to get that sort of ripped, torn edge. If you don't want that, you can definitely just use an X-Acto blade or something like that, or your cutting board, you know. But I sort of like that rough edge on there. So when I would lay it down to glue it down as a pocket, I like to have that on there. on. Alrighty. I'll get across the bottom here. Just getting all those edges off as well. Ah, look at me. I really tore that one bad. That rarely happens to me. So let's just go ahead and we'll just make it a little shorter. No problem there. Okay, so that's one pocket. See if I can use my cork back. Alrighty. So basically that gives us some pockets that, you know, a little sturdy, so I won't take and rip them all, but you get the idea there. And then this one, we're going to go ahead and do. Now these can be tags or they can be pockets. You know, you can use them a lot of ways. They can be journal cards. You just put them on a cardstock, back them on a cardstock, use them as a journal card. Like I said, cut them back as a tag, use them as a pocket. A lot of different things. Let's see, I think I have this at the right width. I might need to do it a little shorter. So looking at this, this is going to be my first page. I don't know that I'm going to put anything there. Maybe. I do kind of like that there. Right off. So I could put that there. I do. I'm going to put that there. We have a pocket there. So we could put one here, just a narrower one. These narrow ones look cool. I could literally put a double pocket here. That looks nice. So let's just put a double pocket there. What we're just doing is we're layering now. So we'll just cut this back some. Okay. Wow, I'm not doing a very good job here. I think partly because it's still a little wet too. Normally once I glue them on, I let them dry a lot longer. But I just want to be able to show you. So these narrow ones can be pockets like this, and we would literally just put it down the same way as we've done these other ones using the glitter glue. And so I think I'm gonna put that like right there. No, there's a bit of a glare, I apologize, because the way my lights are and then the fact that these papers are glazed now. It gives us that that sort of holiday glazed vibe. I like stuff glazed anyhow, personally. It just kind of gives me the feeling of an old world. But also, I meant to say this last week, so I'm glad I'm thinking this, is that you don't have to, if you don't want metallics, I know everybody doesn't necessarily like things glazed, and I definitely understand that. So you can also, and don't forget, we can also use our distressed oxides. Like I could be using pumice stone here on the edges, or we could use a little ink on the edges just to get rid of some of those white edges. So you know how I normally will take it and just, you know, do like that with it. You could do that with a light color like this. You can do it with our stains. So don't forget, you can jazz up your edges a little bit too. So here is another pocket. So we have a pocket there and a pocket here. So you really can just make these as, develop them as much as you want. If you don't want it to be shiny or every page to be shiny, you can definitely still glaze with an acrylic matte medium or a gloss medium. If you want a little bit of sheen to it, use a gloss medium. If you don't want any, use an acrylic matte medium, rub it out on the plate, and you can glaze your papers with that. That way you're getting the protection on your prints. I'm gonna kind of put that maybe right up in here. But you don't have to worry about the color. So I meant to say that last week and I realized I didn't. After I turned the video off and stuff, I'm like, oh, I should have said something about. So you can definitely just use a matte medium to glaze them. If you want something that's colorless. If you have other paints that you know on your plate are like fluid acrylics and they're very, very light, and you just want to do a glaze that's a color, but it's not going to be a color that's going to overpower your prints, I mean, you could do that too. Just you just have to know your paints. If there's ones that you're working with and you're used to, by all means, but definitely, definitely, definitely you can use the matte mediums just to glaze with. See? I love that. So now we have that little pocket on the outside, and that just gives us a pocket on this page. So literally we can go through and make, I really like that. Something hits me, you know, I've got to stop it. Because it's already given us that old world vibe. I mean, this just looks like a nice, you know, yummy pack of, you know, things that we could have found at a flea market. So right here, same thing. We could take something like this one here and put it double up here or put it there, you know. So we're going to play around with different things, different pockets. Let's go through and see where we want to put this. See, like inside here, since we had this on the outside, this will be nice right in there like that, or maybe on this side. Let's put this over here. So here again, just on 4 sides. So now that you got the idea, you guys are free to just go through your packs or anything, any papers you already have. If you didn't get a pack, and just, this is what we do, back them and make our pockets. And then I think I'm gonna just make this slightly higher because I like the jelly printing that I have there. I like that. I don't want to cover it up. So I think I'm just gonna put this up just a little higher than that, maybe like right about there. And I just love it that these look like you know, smaller, the smaller text on the pages. Love it. So that gives us that sort of feel. Document. So literally, that's what you can do. You can go through, continue, because I know we're coming up on an hour, just a little bit better than an hour. So just go through and do all of this with your pages, and let's get to this point. So when we come back next week, have your cover boards chosen, and we're going to then cover the boards. We're going to get holes through here, hopefully without using a drill. We might have to use a hand drill, but and then we're going to be ready to go. So thanks for hanging out. If you like the video, please thumbs it up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And yep, I'll see you guys next week. And as always, I enjoy being here. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful week. And can't wait to see how your journals are going to come out. But doesn't this look so yummy? Old world. Ah. Alrighty. Take care. Bye-bye.